Let me ask you something. Have you ever stared at your reflection in the mirror, questioning if you are the villain in your own story? Has someone convinced you that every argument, every emotional bruise, every ounce of friction in your relationship is your fault? If so, sit tight because this conversation might just be the most liberating one you've ever had. Toxic partners don't always enter your life with red flags flapping in the wind. They often come disguised as warmth, charm, or intense passion. But over time, a subtle sinister pattern emerges, one that leaves you doubting yourself. Here's the truth: the easiest way to manipulate someone is to make them question their own sanity. This is why toxic people excel at weaponizing your self awareness against you. Do you find yourself constantly apologizing, walking on eggshells? Do they tell you things like you're too sensitive, you're overreacting, or you always ruin everything? If these statements sound familiar, you might be caught in a tangled web of manipulation and gaslighting. You see, a toxic partner knows how to shift the narrative, turning every conflict into your burden to bear. You are too loud, too quiet, too needy, too distant. Suddenly, every reaction you have is evidence of your flaws. But here's the kicker: healthy relationships don't thrive in the idea that one person is fundamentally broken. In a real partnership, both people take accountability for their actions. Toxic people, however, are allergic to accountability. Let me make this clear. No matter how flawed you think you are, nobody has the right to use your imperfections as ammunition. Toxic people are masters at turning your introspection against you. They know that if they can make you believe you are the toxic one, you'll stay busy fixing yourself while they continue to tear you apart. Now, let's discuss signs that you are in a toxic dynamic. Number one, emotional roller coasters. 1 minute they are loving and attentive, the next they are cold, dismissive, and raging. You find yourself addicted to the highs because the lows are unbearable. Number two, chronic blame. If every fight ends with you apologizing, even when you know deep down it wasn't your fault, you are being emotionally manipulated. Number three, gaslighting. They twist events or conversations to make you doubt your memory or perceptions of reality. They'll say that never happened or you are imagining things. Number four, control disguised as love. They'll justify controlling behavior by claiming it's out of concern for you. I just don't want you to get hurt, or I know what's best for you. Number five, isolation. They subtly or overtly pull you away from friends and family and anyone who might remind you of your worth outside the relationship. Number six, exhaustion. You are drained emotionally, mentally, physically. Loving them feels like a full time job, and no matter how much effort you put in, it's never enough. Now, here is the uncomfortable truth. If you are constantly asking yourself, am I the toxic one? Chances are you're not. Why, you may ask? Because toxic people rarely engage in self reflection. They are too busy deflecting blame. The very fact that you're questioning yourself is a sign that you care, that you're willing to grow. A toxic partner exploits this willingness. Take for a moment and breathe. Toxicity thrives in chaos and confusion. To break free, you need clarity. Now ask yourself, do I feel safe expressing my emotions around this person? Do they respect my boundaries or do they push and test them? When we argue, do they listen or do they dismiss my feelings? Am I growing as a person in this relationship or am I shrinking? Now, to truly identify a toxic partner, you need to reconnect with your intuition. Their words and actions may have dulled that inner voice over time, but it's still there. Start by keeping a journal. Write down how you feel after interactions with them. Patterns will emerge and they will reveal the truth. Educate yourself about emotional abuse, gaslighting, and manipulation. Knowledge is power. And the more you understand these dynamics, the harder it will be for them to control you. And here's the hardest part: you may need to leave. Toxic partners rarely change, especially if they refuse to acknowledge their behavior. Leaving isn't easy, I know, especially when you've been made to believe that you are the problem. But remember, the only thing worse than leaving a toxic relationship is staying in one and losing yourself entirely. Let me end with this. Questioning your actions doesn't make you toxic, it makes you human. You are allowed to be imperfect, to make mistakes, to feel deeply. What you are not allowed to do is sacrifice your well being for someone who thrives on making you feel small. You deserve a love that doesn't feel like a battlefield. You deserve a partner who lifts you up, not one who tears you down. And most importantly, you deserve the freedom to exist, flaws and all, without constantly wondering if you're the problem. So if you're sitting here and listening to me with a lump in your throat and tears in your eyes, let me tell you, it's not your fault. You are stronger than you know. It's time to step into that strength, reclaim your power, and demand the respect and love you've always deserved. Now, what comes next? Here is the first step. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your worth. Seek out a trusted friend, family member, or even professional counselor who can help you rebuild your confidence. You see, breaking free from a toxic relationship isn't just about leaving, it's about rediscovering the version of yourself that existed before their words and actions began to erode your sense of self. Remember, healing is a process. There will be days when doubts creep in, but keep reminding yourself you are not the problem. You are the solution. You are the hero of the story, and it's time to start writing a new chapter, one filled with the kind of love and respect you've always deserved. I hope this has helped someone today. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.